Hello everyone, this is a BIO270 video presentation that is titled Human Overpopulation. So these are the group members. Firstly, Afnan Najmi bin Ahmad Dayauddin as the group leader, and Bakis binti Munadi, Nur Farahan Naziha binti Nur Hisham, Nur Aina Natasha binti Muhammad Firdaus, and me, Muhammad Nafi bin Zukri. So these are the contents of these videos. So firstly, human overpopulation is said to be an increase of human population that exceeds the amount of sufficient resources on the earth. According to the Population Connection, the increase in human population since 1950 has led to the opening of 4/5 of rainforests, the loss of tens of thousands of flora and fauna species, rise of greenhouse effect released by 400%, and the industrializations evolved as half of the Earth's surface. So, if we are going back to the history of human overpopulations, in the early of 19th century, for the first time in the world history, human population had reached 1 billion. Based on this graph, around 1920, that number had increased dramatically to reach 2 billion. After 40 years, or specifically by 1960, another 1 billion had increased to 3 billion. This trend was found to continue to increase rapidly, with 4 billions by 1974, 5 billion by 1987, 6 billion by 1999, and 7 billion in 2011. Of course, that number will not only stop at 7 billion, but will continue to increase in the future. Based on the latest projections by the United Nations, the number of 8 billion is likely to be reached in 2025, and 9 billion is expected to be reached in 2045. The further the expectation is in the future, the more uncertain this figure is. People who are involved in these calculations must consider all possibilities involving millions of margins of error, as this is a world-scale demography. But based on all reasonable scenarios, the number of 9 billion is likely to be reached by 2050. So what about now our latest population? If we go to Google and then we type in world population, we can see that we are now reaching 7.9 billion as of this February. So, human overpopulation is the number one threat to wild and domestic animals worldwide. Whatever humans do to use, abuse, kill, or displace animals is magnified by the number of people on the planet, which is over 7.9 billion as of February of 2022. While developing nations are experiencing greater population growth, those in developing nations generally consume more meat and consequently have a greater impact in the future. So what are the impacts of human overpopulations? What are the causes of human overpopulations? And what are the ways to overcome this problem? I will pass this presentation to Balkis binti Munadi.
Hi, my name is Balkis binti Munadi. I will present about impact of overpopulation. First, impact of overpopulation is deforestation, which is clearing or thinning of forests by humans. Deforestation represents one of the largest issues in the global land use. Estimates of the deforestation traditionally are based on the area of forest cleared for human use, including removal of tree for the wood product and the cropland and the grazing land. The single biggest direct cause of tropical deforestation is conversion to cropland and the pasture, mostly for subsistence, which is growing crops or raising the livestock of daily needs. The conversion to the agriculture then usually results from the multiply direct factor. For example, countries build roads into the remote areas to improve the overland transportation of goods. the road development itself caused a limited amount of deforestation, but roads also provide entry to previously inaccessible and often unclaimed land. Logging, both legal and illegal, uh, often follow road expansion, and in some cases is the reason for the road expansion. The logged area becomes a magnet for settlers, farmers, and ranchers who slash and burn the remaining forest for the cropland or cattle pasture, contributing to the deforestation change begin with the road building. In other cases, forests that have been degraded by the logging become fire prone and eventually deforested by repeated accident fires from the adjacent farm and pasture. Secondly is global warming. What is global warming? Global warming is the phenomenon of increased average air temperature near the surface of the Earth over the past 1 to 2 centuries. Climate scientists have since the mid-20th century gathered detailed observation of various weather phenomena such as temperature precipitation and the storm, and of the related influence on climate such as ocean current and the atmosphere's chemical composition. This data indicate that Earth climate has changed over almost every conceivable timescale since the beginning of the geologic time, and that human activities since at the least beginning of the Industrial Revolution have been growing influence over the pace and the extent of present-day climate change. How this happens? Earth transforms sunlight, visible energy, into infrared light, and the infrared energy leaves Earth slowly because it absorbed by the greenhouse gases. As people produce more greenhouse gases, energy leaves Earth even more slowly, raising the temperature even more than it has already gone. For example, the industry has grown rapidly to meet human needs. For example, manufacture of foods, clothing, building materials, and more. These factories produce smoke and chemical waste that illegally dump into the environment that cause a lot of pollution. Car pollution contributes, and the other transport significantly to climate change, which result from build-up of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Burning fossil fuels in car release carbon dioxide, which is the largest source of the greenhouse gases emission. As these gases build up, they trap heat in the atmosphere, causing climate change. This is because people need to go to somewhere quickly, so they ride their own vehicle. The more people use this method, the more faster global warming.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And I want to talk about causes of human population, which is we have two: underutilized contraception and more hands to overcome poverty. First, underutilized contraception, which is led to unplanned pregnancy or unwanted childbirth. And this is because of a failure to use contraception, incorrect use of contraception, unplanned consensual intercourse, and rape. There are women unusing contraceptive for a variety of reasons, including social norms or religious belief that discourage birth control, misconception about adverse side effects, and a lack of agency for women to make decisions around sex and family planning. Okay, we move to the second one, which is more hands to overcome poverty. This is related with higher birth rate that may impoverished areas are seeing large booms in population. So there are many offer welfare subsidies for large families and tend to experience more overpopulation. Not only are those households counting on the one subsidies to survive, however, the adults also learn to live with their grown children, perpetuating the cycle. In In developing countries, having massive household is likewise important for running farmland and maintaining meals at the table. And now I want to pass to Nur Aina. Thank you.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nuraina Natasha binti Muhammad Firdaus. My student ID is 2020830018. So I will continue with ways to overcome human overpopulation. First and foremost is raising awareness among people about family planning. What is family planning and what is the goal of it? Family planning is the ability of individuals and couples to anticipate and attain their desired number of children and the spacing timing of their birth, while the only goal is to improve pregnancy planning and prevent unintended pregnancy. Because of the world's population is rapidly increasing, raising awareness among people regarding family planning and letting them know about serious after effects of overpopulation can help cut population growth. For example, let them know about various safe sex techniques and contraceptive methods available to avoid any unwanted pregnancy. Those will help the couples to plan their family and control birth regulation. The second way is quality education. A better education will make people understand more about the after effects of overpopulation. Education leads to lower birth rates and slows population growth. This makes it easier for countries to develop. A more educated workforce also makes poverty eradication and economic growth easier to achieve. According to the USA, poverty and the lack of access to education leads to higher birth rates and overpopulation. Therefore, better education and less poverty can reduce overpopulation. The less the poverty, the less the overpopulation. For example, family planning and efficient birth control can help in women making their own reproductive choices. The choices is in our hands. Overpopulation can lead to serious effects, so we need to overcome it. I will pass to the last presenter, Ahmad Afna Najmi.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. We have now come to the end of our presentation. After completing this investigation, we have come to the conclusion that overcrowding is a critical issue for environmental health. One of the most pressing issues confronting humanity today is overpopulation. We have seen that population has brought many disasters, as it is now we live in the COVID-19 era. This global crisis has killed many people around the world, and I'm sure that people all over the world are getting affected by this pandemic. And that does not just stop there. Human overpopulation has a negative impact on the health and well-being of our planet. Overpopulation impacts us all because food shortages will rise, population will increase, and global warming will worsen. With additional people putting pressure on the planet already, with limited resources, population growth must be controlled at all costs. Overpopulation is a plague that is a constant threat to any country's progress. Hence, in all that the foreigners and the government have to muster up together to bring this problem to an end. To successfully accomplish this, effective family planning and social balance are required for a better world. The same can be said about many others. Prevention is better than cure. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, stay well. Ta-ta!